With love in the air, not everyone's feeling it. And if you are dealing with a heartbreak, this deck claims to be exactly what you need, a first aid kit for a broken heart. Created by Korean artist Nonara, this deck is a bit of an unusual one. And it's not just a tarot deck, it's also an oracle deck and affirmation cards all combined in one. But does it actually deliver on its promise? We're gonna find out in this video. Hi, this is Jay with Rollercoaster Tarot, where I bring you weekly reviews of tarot and oracle decks to inspire your readings. And this deck is a first aid for broken hearts tarot, and it's an unusual one. The imagery is topsy-turvy, upside down, all over the place, and some cards loosely resemble a traditional tarot deck, while others feel a little bit abstract. The whole thing has this melancholic energy, soft pastel tones that you will see, and not overly cheerful, but reflective, I guess, of a bluesy and heartbroken mood. But here is the thing. This is not just about romantic heartbreaks. It also could be easily used for disappointments at work, friendships that fall apart, or any emotional loss. So let's have a look at this deck, and today we're going to cover the guidebook, the deck quality, if it's well made or not, do a flip through, I know you're here for that, and do a 3-card reading. And if you stay until the end, I will share with you who this deck is for, my honest opinion about it, and I'll give you a little sneak peek into our next review. With all that, let's go and have a look on what's inside. So this is like a nice touch, and by the way, deck, the box itself is quite thick and sturdy, has the magnets, as you probably know, I appreciate from watching my videos. And you agree with this, keep the faith, the world is full of miracles. And it mentions here the affirmations part, which you will see. Each card looks, the back of a card looks like this, green leaves. So the guidebook. Now, what Nonara is actually a nickname for a lady whose name is Kim Jun Joseon, and she's a Korean artist. And she talks about how she came with the idea of this deck, and she used the deck to help her through hard times, and not this particular one, but just tarots in general. And then she came up with an idea of creating this one. So it's a bit of a introduction, the usual how you would use the deck, some examples, and then it goes into major arcana and minor arcana. And I'm not going to show you the cards yet, we're going to go for it in a second, but this is the actual guidebook. And now we'll look at the cards. So it's a full 78 card deck. It uses traditional Rider-Waite Marseille tarot card structure. Quite a thick cards actually. It's a 0.4 thickness, which is quite thick, and you can tell cards themselves have a nice waxy finish. I don't know if you can see it here, but they don't really shine much, which is kind of nice. It adds to this whole pastel melancholic feel of the cards. Let's go through the deck and you'll see it. So now this is a nice touch. The cards have a little affirmation or meaning written on it. And let's go through the deck. So this is the full, and this is, you'll understand what I mean by the imagery not actually corresponding to what you would normally see in a traditional deck. This is a magician, no traditional tools, it's just a boy flying with an eagle. The high priestess. Seek through your insight, the answers lie within. It's quite nice affirmations here. The Empress, the Emperor. Yeah, again, I'm not quite sure what the connection here is with the Emperor, who's supposed to be a more of a mature, steady, structured person. Here we have a little boy with horns. Quite like a Hierophant here. But again, ask for guidance, and enlightened soul is near you. Is that the swan? Quite like this little touch here, or is it I'm not quite sure. And you will see across this, there's a meaning of the cards. It's very hard to interpret. They're almost abstract. Like here, the lovers. Now again, I'm not sure what it represents. Almost like a reflection of this person with a flower on top. The Chariot. Move forward with determination, leave the past behind. Yet the Zebra not really moving much, and I'm not sure what the butterfly is doing there. I do like butterflies, by the way, but there it's kind of landed on the hand. The Strength, a bit of a play with traditional deck, with a lion here though. Yeah, I don't know. Tell me what you think about this one. I like the Hermit. It's almost like you get a lighthouse in someone's head. I guess looking for some guidance. Quite like this card. It's probably one of my favorite from his deck. The Wheel of Fortune. Cycle of changes in ocean, treasure, transformation. So the affirmations themselves, I think they do correspond with traditional meaning of major arcana, right? Restore balance, fairness reinforces your purpose. The Hangman, hang by a leg with a foot stuck in the tree. Death, I guess crossing that bridge into another reality, the transformation, the end of a cycle. Is that what it is? Temperance, quite like this one. So I think it's a boy or maybe a girl, can't really tell. It's a little bit androgynous on this one, and representing temperance. The Devil reminds me of Shining for some reason, with twins rolling on a bike. I'm not sure if that's any connection to that, but tell me what you think. Let go of dependencies, free yourself from fears. The Tower. Now this tower is not collapsing, it's just hanging off a person's head. The Star, keep the faith. I guess all these stars there. The Moon. And the Sun. The Judgment. All the planets in the back and lady looking at them. Elevating yourself and awakening and show up for your life calling. The World. Again, I'm not quite sure what to make of it. Also notice how the hand just disappears into this the planet symbol, and then the image itself is somewhat strange. The body is almost twisted in some unusual way. The Ace of Wands. So this is your beginning of minor arcana, the world of possibility, and aspire to illumination and growth. Partnership, create a forward force, execute an adventure together. So this is Two of Wands. Yeah, so this is, I'm quite sure if it's a partnership really in a traditional deck. So that's not the meaning you would expect. I think it's probably more of Two of Cups if I were to combine it. Three of Wands expands the horizon. Yep, that's you grow out of your comfort zone. I think that's on par. Four of Wands, your journey of harmony, solidarity, and devotion. Not the same meaning. The Five of Wands. Do you engage yourself from rivalries and frictions? Six of Wands, cherish a moment of glory. Your labor has been seen and rewarded. I think that's on par. So image of the boy. Defend you with both your value with integrity, stand up for your beliefs. I'm not really seeing it. I don't know if you are. Because if you remember Seven of Wands, right, that's the defending a position, fighting what you care about. Here I see a person who is sort of giving up. They're looking down. I don't think they're standing up for anything. I think they're just sad. Just a little bit sad like me, probably, looking at the card. Your audacity seizes some momentum. Shiny results are ahead. Yep, it's interesting. I'm also seeing that this animal is missing a leg and a head for some reason. This one, so this is Nine of Wands. Trust and tenacity. If you remember, this card is that embattled warrior standing there and seeing a lot. And finally, the Ten of Wands. Release excessive responsibilities, reunite with what truly matters. I do love this card. I do think that is not connected to the Ten of Wands in traditional deck. And hence my view of this deck you will hear once we go through the deck. Princess of Wands. Okay, so in this deck, by the way, you've got, instead of pages, you have princess, so it's a female character here. Nice looking card. Prince of Wands. Pursue adventure, passion, and newfound knowledge. The Queen of Wands. Now, this lady reminds me of someone, almost a character from a cartoon that I have seen. If it reminds you of someone, please let me know who you're thinking of right now. The King of Wands. Guy sitting there with a cute cat. Yeah, and the cat looks a little bit strange with the legs hanging down. The Ace of Cups. They're moving on to the cups. Interesting enough, using of human faces on the aces. Quite interesting. The seeds of love you send out breed fresh starts. Quite nice. I like that. Two of Cups. In compassionate union upholds a kindred spirit. That's a good take on it. I love this. Three of Cups. If you remember, that would be a celebration. Collaboration is a mutual success. Celebrate velocity of progress. A beautiful swan on a lake with the fog. Consider the possibilities you leave behind. Lean on introspection. Five of Cups. Unexpected sorrow. This is in line with the traditional deck. Six of Cups. Renew the hope you are at the junction where you're meant to be. This person's flying in the air on a cloud, I guess, above the suitcase. Illusion, obscure reality. So this is the Seven of Cups. You remember from traditional deck, representing the illusion and choices, and not all of them are the right choices. Eight of Cups. Get off the sinking boat. You pursue life with self-love. Nine of Cups. Count your blessings, for our plenty. And this is the wish card. And finally, the happiness card. The universe within you also encompasses you. Quite a good take. I quite like that one. The world in a cup. Princess of Cups. Unusual. The princess looks like a man. I'm not sure what happened here, but here we are. And the suitcase magically hanging in the air. Prince of Cups. Now stopped. So prince and princesses here. Brave journey to follow your heart. Safeguard your free spirit. Riding a zebra. I'm not sure what that is. It looks a bit like a moon with butterflies next to it. Queen of Cups. Another swan. I quite like the abundance of swans in this deck. That's quite nice. Intuitive and creative leadership supports those you love. And at the king, looking at a lady. He looks a bit like Dali to me. Does it look like Dali to you? And a lady whose head looks like a flower. With your maturity, unite intellect and heart to attain clarity. All right, going to swords. Interesting. So another person here, unveil knowledge and ideas, engaging wisely. Sort of corresponds with the aces, I guess. Liberate your perceptions, fear not the unknown at the crossing. Interesting view. These ladies missing their heads. So Three of Swords. Quite an interesting one. I couldn't tell what these are. I guess it represents swords. So this is the card of heartbreak, disappointment. Actually, this is probably symbolic of the whole deck, though. I think this deck is more of the cup deck, and I'll tell you what I think about it when we get to the end. Quite like this card. A lot of flowers here, and this is Four of Swords. Give your blessings and calmness for renewal. If you remember, traditional deck has the knight lying in a tomb, or maybe on a coffin, contemplating. Five of Swords. Pride dwells in conflict and cooperation advance. Six of Swords. Embrace the rite of passage with peaceful resolutions. Seven of Swords. Deception can be reciprocal. The universe is the ultimate witness. Interesting card. Not sure about the red stars. Also not sure about what's happened here. Is it a bike or is it? It's quite difficult to tell. It's almost like this thing has two wheels. The Eight of Swords. Uncontrollable thoughts entangle you. You refine them for a new chapter. The Nine of Swords. Irrational fears. Face them with equanimity. Interesting card. What do you think? The Ten of Swords. Remember the Ten of Swords from a traditional deck? Yeah. You're ready for healing as this painful cycle comes to an end. This makes sense to me. This, I don't know. I'm not sure if that makes sense to me. Prince of Swords, energetic curiosity lifts up your world. The Prince of Swords, sorry, I was Princess. This is Prince of Swords. Altruistic ambition brings success as your mind floats in confidence. At least this guy is flying, right? So that's what I would expect from a knight. Now the Queen of Swords. You cultivate resilience, lead with grace and assurance. Do you feel that the affirmations here, they don't correspond to the actual images at all? Because that's what I look at it. I don't really. I see the maybe patience here. I see maybe contemplation. I see strength, but I'm not sure about the assurance and grace. And I don't know what this represents. King of Swords, who looks awfully young. Speak up in courageous endeavors for the unwavering truth. Yeah. Ace of Pentacles. The roots of inventiveness are inventiveness. I cannot speak if you noticed today. Are in full bloom with prosperity. All right. So this is interesting because aces are about starting something new. We're talking about the full bloom. I'm not sure about that, guys. I'm not sure about that. Interesting thing here as well is a hand turning into a butterfly and a bike with a broken wheel. A resourceful mind preserves balance when juggling. That's actually the affirmation is from the traditional deck. 3 Pentacles. Form a conscious alliance. Offer your solidarity. 4 of Pentacles. Keeping all for yourself limits the flow. Share them in fair exchanges. Yes, this is definitely right away. This also corresponds, I would say, she's holding all the balloons and doesn't want to share, and she looks pretty tight, but also a little bit like a girl from Shining. 5 of Pentacles. The door is always open and isolation to see what's beyond. Strangely enough, he sits outside, not in a cage, and yeah, he's probably not really seeing that he can just walk away. The 6 of Pentacles. You give with gratitude, you receive in abundance. Yes, this is interesting. I quite like that. The poppies and a peacock. All right, 7 of Pentacles. Rest assured, commitment and patience always pay off. Dedication to a diligent apprenticeship results in mastery. Okay, this is a statement from the 8 of Pentacles. 9 of Pentacles. Abundance obtained, but perseverance grants you wisdom. I would say this card is representing that. Though I would think that you probably wanted a slightly more mature character here, and this is more of a page character to me. Pentacles. Stoic strategists protect your thriving legacy. Interesting. Do you think this guy he's got all the material possession? Does this look like an end of a cycle to you? It's a deck of contradiction, my friend. Princess of Pentacles. Ready for novelty, explore the unfamiliar. Another zebra. Prince of Pentacles. Disciplines build a solid foundation, faith growth with evidence. Now we got Queen of Pentacles. Time to reset yourself in a tender and loving presence. I love this affirmation here. And finally, we got a king who looks youthful. Unusually youthful for a king. King of Pentacles, benevolent and empathic leader. Vision materialized upon sharing. So, here's the deck. What are your thoughts? Interesting, isn't it? Look at the quality of cards. I do like that. That's something that I do enjoy. I think they're very solid cards. Now we're gonna do, let's do a 3-card read so you can take a look and see for yourself how this performs. All right, I know my shuffling wouldn't be the best, so what we're gonna do, I cannot just shuffle this thing for half an hour and bore you guys to death here. So I'm just gonna select 3 cards, and let's just do this way. Let's use a hypothetical scenario that this is a Valentine's Day and you feel pretty down because you haven't got a date to go on, and you would like some guidance on how to approach this. Let's use the 3-card read. 1 and 2, and which one should I take? Left, right? I'm hearing left. Let's take one more. Here we go. So, and we'll look at it at using the strength, the challenges, and opportunities of the current situation. All right. The good side. Disciplines build a solid foundation with phrase growth with confidence. So I would say this is, you can take you've taken an action in some way to make yourself feel good about this. You took some practical terms, perhaps practical steps. Perhaps you approached some people to go on a date. Perhaps you thought about how you want to spend that day, and you put some effort into not spending this day by yourself, or maybe just do something that you enjoy doing in some practical ways, maybe going to a restaurant, or perhaps reading a book, or catching up with your friends, right? And what's not the great part about this situation? Well, while you took a practical steps, there may be an issue with you being able to have some passion about this whole thing, right? You may not be able to have resources or actually interest. It may your heart may not be in celebrating this at all. And even though you put some practical terms on it, you did it out of just the habit, out of the complacency and trying to match with everyone else, but really not feeling it. And what's the opportunity here? What is it what good that come out of the situation? It's Prince of Pentacles, ready for novelty, explore the unfamiliar. And yes, maybe while you're not feeling it, maybe your heart is not in it, what you put in place to do something on this day may be something new you haven't experienced before. And if you take this approach with a bit of a can do and let's try something new and exciting attitude, perhaps something good will come out of it. Now let's have a look what it actually says in the book for this. And it's interesting, we got all the minor arcana, so my shuffling skills are clearly not the best. But we got a prince and the princess in one here, so we can look at this guys right away. So the first one, the strength of the situation. Feeling lost must be an utterly foreign state, given your laborious nature and disciplined pursuit of deserving outcomes. Since you take every action seriously, upholding loyalty and integrity as your pinnacle, you keep improving yourself even in rough times, because marching on a relentless expansion is inevitable for a resolute prince like you. So that's was close enough to how I interpret the hell. You took an action, you took some practical steps to do something about it, knowing that you may feel emotionally affected by the situation, not having a date on Valentine's Day. And looking at the princess, the opportunity in this situation is when a broken heart keeps aching, even breathing feels like an unmotivating project. However, your self-healing program, which has been running slowly, needs you to rearrange fragmented data stored in your shattered heart. What could be more efficient than pushing that defrag button, interesting choice of words, with new experiences, resetting the old goals that have been on the default list? So interesting. And finally, we've got the King of Wands, which is probably at the top of this. Yep, was right. Okay, King of Wands, with this gentleman here who seemed to be having a little nap with a cat with 2 legs, strangely. Pursuing your healing journey, envision yourself as a guiding light of a radiant beacon comprised of all the dynamic elements of fire. You do it all, and you do it with confidence and excellence. And yes, you are the sum total of magnetic charm, a big thinker with compassionate heart, drawing others closer with your determination and focus on greater good. So, if you probably noticed already, I tried to use the Rider-Waite meaning or any other traditional meaning, and this deck does not deal well with the challenges or reversed cards because it just not listen there. So the spread I just used with strength, weakness, and opportunity and outcome wouldn't work here. So if you use anything that a negative meaning of a card, this deck cannot be used for that. So I would say it's probably just like a one read perhaps, or maybe past, future, present would probably would be a better approach for this. All right, let's have a quick chat about who this deck is for and what I think about it. So, mention to you that this feels more to me like an oracle and affirmation deck rather than a true tarot deck. And while the imagery is interesting, and I think it will appeal to a lot of people who like this sort of, the pastel-looking, dreamy style, it doesn't correspond with actual meanings of a card. Sometimes it does, but in a lot of cases, it's just hit and miss. Now, this whole deck feels to me like a self-care deck as well. It really does this cup suit energy, right? It's a little bit melancholic, so it's only like one side of cups, but it's a deck about self-healing. It's a deck about finding encouragement to go on. It's a deck about finding little motivational messages to continue even though you're going through a heartbreak. I think it has a good quality. It's this waxy cardstock and feels premium. It has a cohesive aesthetics. It's very soft and melancholic. And Guidebook is good. It's not deep, but it's enough to work with. Now the drawback of this deck, it's a one-purpose deck, as I mentioned, self-care. It's only self-care, probably cups. The artwork is abstract, and sometimes you just can't recognize what's going on, and you saw that bicycle with broken wheels or a cat with 2 legs, which is kind of interesting. I also had a quick look at the author's Instagram account, and I know she does a lot of artwork, but it's all patterns, and I cannot confirm that if it's AI, but I've seen a couple of AI decks recently, and I didn't see any showcases of hand-drawn tarot illustrations, and I'm not suggesting this deck is AI generated, but it's quite interesting because imagery doesn't correspond to cards. Again, it could be just artistic choice, and then some stuff there, like hands disappearing in flowers on wheels, or it's not inherently bad, but I think if the author used some AI assistance, it would be good to disclose this, right? I also think that this deck would be very difficult to read intuitively. Like look at this here, for instance, the Emperor. What do you see of this? Because I'm looking at the moon, I'm looking at the animal nature. I feel more it's an intuition. I feel more it's a water, more of a moon, more of a, it doesn't have the Emperor strength, and a lot of these images are like that, right? So who is this deck for? I think if you're emotionally drawn to this imagery, and some of it is beautiful, like this swan here, or some of the this white fox here, get it. It may be a deck that you will enjoy using. If you like to use deck that sort of gentle and they guide you through this emotional reflection, this could be a good self-reflection tool. But if you're looking for a versatile tarot deck that can handle all kinds of readings, this may not be a deck for you. This is definitely not a good deck for beginners, I would say, because you get very confused. And I think if you want to learn tarot architecture, tarot structure, this deck probably gonna make it a little bit difficult for you, and you may get an impression that every tarot deck will have affirmation written there, and you know, it's just going to be a little bit confusing. So I hope it gave you enough knowledge and understanding if you decide to get this deck, whether it's going to work for you or not. And we looked at the past, let's have a quick look at our future. And I'll be reviewing this deck here. So this is a Fairy Tale Tarot by Lisa Hunt. This is another deck from US Game Systems, 2024, but it was released, went to sale, I think 2025. So it's a new deck. I just got it like a week ago. Interesting deck. It's got a cat. So I love cats, as you probably noticed. It's a Lunar Code Tarot after all, and I expect a lot of fun reviewing this. I think it's going to be a lot of mysteries. I can see hand-drawn illustrations here, and I'm genuinely looking forward to reviews with you. So this is Lunar Code Tarot. I'm Jay. If you enjoy this, you know what to do. If there is a deck that you want me to review, please let me know. And as usual, if you have any feedback, you want to chat, I read and respond to all of my messages. And I'll see you in the next one.